Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be trying out Ohuhu alcohol markers. I'm so grateful for receiving these markers and I'm super excited because I've never done portraits with markers before. This is the Honolulu pack of 120 markers. I really like the bag they come in. It's like a travel bag so you can carry it anywhere. They also give you this booklet that basically gives you an insight on Ohuhu markers and this marker sheet to put underneath your drawing so it doesn't bleed through. And here is how the marker looks like. It has a color code and name on the top and a chisel tip and a brush tip. They also sent me the Kamako 50 sheets marker pad, so I'll be testing them out along with the markers. It's 10 inch by 7 inch and 280 GSM, so it's very thick and perfect for marker drawings. I also swatched out the markers on the little swatch cards they give you. On one sheet it's mostly warm colors and on the other sheet it's cool colors. Without further ado, let's get started with the drawing. I'm using a colored pencil so it doesn't smudge when I color. I also like the softness I'm able to achieve with colored pencils. The paper is really smooth and my pencil glides so well on it. There's not many bumps in texture on this kind of paper, unlike my regular sketchbook paper, which is really interesting. I think it's so the marker doesn't bleed and expand on the page. I drew 2 portraits so I could practice more with these markers and try out different colors. I'm gonna be coloring from light to dark so the colors can blend well with each other. I'm also a little nervous to go too dark at first because I don't know if I'm able to fix it if I mess up. So I just used the pastel peach color and basically put down a base layer while leaving some areas out for the highlights. I'm doing another layer of that so the color is a little more darker but not too much. So I realized the brush tips works really well for soft shading and for blending colors, because you have control over how much pressure you apply on the markers, so it wasn't too scary when I started coloring with it. I wasn't really sure where I was going with this, but I'm basically just choosing colors that are pretty similar to each other, so I was using my swatch sheet as a reference to help me choose my colors. For the shadow color, I used Collingwood Gray. I didn't use a light brown color like cinnamon because it was a little too bright for me, so I thought using a warm gray and then slowly transitioning it into a darker brown would be more helpful. And these markers layer so well with one another. They also blend really well. I just need to have the lighter color in hand so I can quickly blend it while the darker color hasn't dried yet. I'm now adding in a little bit of blue to where the shadow areas are, because there's more cool tones on areas where the light doesn't hit. This process was so fun and quick because I'm able to apply color on large areas in such a short amount of time. I can definitely see myself using more of these markers in my future drawings. I didn't really know what color I wanted her hair to be, so I just colored in a layer of cloud blue. I used the same Collingwood Gray for the darker areas, so the drawing looks more united. I really liked using the side of the chisel tip for details like the flyaway hair strands, because I had to draw them quickly in one stroke without any line weight, and the chisel tip was more sturdy and not as soft as the brush tip, so I was able to make thin, clean lines. I'm moving on to the next portrait now because I wanted to give myself some time to think about the color scheme. So if I finished the second portrait, I would know what colors to use for the first one to make it look cohesive. Right now I'm blocking in some shapes for where the highlights are going to be so I don't color over them and lose the brightest areas. This is a portrait of Avril Lavigne. I love her songs, so I decided to draw her. And I also really love her hair in this photo. It's so shiny and wispy. I'm basically doing the same thing, just starting with a simple base color and building up the shadow colors. I really like coloring this portrait since I already kind of have experimented with the markers a little in the previous one, so I knew what the next steps in my process would be. I was also using the colorless blender they give you as I was drawing this. I mostly use it for blending very light colors out onto the page. And it looks darker at first, but that's only because it's wet. When it dries, it's clear. She has blonde hair, so I'm using light gold with pastel peach. This is so the yellow isn't too bright and looks more natural. It also helps bring the drawing together since pastel peach is used in other places as well. For these markers, when you're trying to cover an area of space like this t-shirt, you need to do multiple layers if you don't want to see any streaky lines. I did 3 layers for her shirt using both a cool gray and a warm brown, so the color palette is balanced and neutral. Now I'm using my colored pencils to refine some of the details on the face. They work well on top of the markers and really define the drawing. I'm going back to the first portrait since I'm feeling a little more confident after shading the hair in the second one, and I'm okay with going darker. I think my main problem was my fear of being unable to blend out the darker color, but these markers are incredible with blending, so you don't have to worry about accidentally putting down a harsh line or anything. You can just blend it out. If you overthink it, it may not turn out the way you wanted it to be, so I just went with the flow and didn't think too much about it. One of my favorite things to draw are hair because it's so satisfying to see the shiny highlights bring the drawing to life, and I love how it turned out for this drawing. I'm adding in some accent details around the sketch now. These markers truly made my process so much quicker. I hadn't realized that I was already done coloring. These markers worked so beautifully, and I'm so happy with how this drawing turned out. They are linked in the description below with a special discount code that is also shown on the screen, so make sure to check them out. They also didn't bleed through the page even though I forgot to use a marker pad. But I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!